Welcome to Under the Sun podcast. I'm Ilea.
And I'm Irene. Grab a cup of coffee and your comfiest sweats and join us every Monday as two best friends discuss everything from raising free-range gremlins to business and really everything under the sun.
Let's get started, and thanks for being here. What? This is cozy.
Thanks. Feels like a blanket.
It does. It's nice. I'm definitely going to get my stanky pits on it.
That is okay.
Is it bad that we're that close of friends that I thought about putting deodorant on, but I was like, it's just Irene. It'll be fine.
I mean, I literally showed up at your house at 11 a.m. and walked in, and the first words out of my mouth were, I didn't brush my teeth today. So
that's okay.
I did. I have since brushed my teeth, but
it sounds maybe gross, but I usually don't. I don't brush my teeth first thing in the morning. I brush my teeth at 11 after I've had my first cup of coffee because then it ruins the coffee taste.
It does. It does.
I'd rather my nasty, musky mouth musty, not musky. Wait, what?
The flavor. I don't know.
Wow.
You're welcome
Welcome to the episode, guys.
No one is surprised at this point.
No one is surprised at us.
Yes.
Yeah, we're trash bags. Okay, so here's the thing. Have you seen on our Instagram every day somebody likes a comment that I made through our Under the Sun podcast?
Yep.
Have you watched that reel yet?
Yep.
Okay. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, that's okay because you're just now listening to this. But there's a reel on Instagram of a woman showing the sonogram machine. And she said, this is the day that I was told that there was no heartbeat or there was no baby in the sack and that I needed to go get a DNC or take the pills. I can't remember. Yeah. And I was like, oh, that's so sad. And then I went to the comments and then, sorry, let me back up. So I should get a DNC or whatever. And then she said, then the quote says oh, but doctor, I feel pregnant, in quotes, I feel pregnant. I think I'll just wait to pass it on my own. And then it says 2 weeks later and it says the baby is just fine. And I didn't have a miscarriage or a, not a phantom pregnancy, but a
chemical pregnancy.
And then I was like, that's ridiculous. Whoa, that close call.
Yeah.
And then I go to the comments, thousands and thousands and thousands of comments saying, that happened to me too. That happened to me too. My doctor told me I needed a DNC right away. Which is, if you don't want a DNC, if your baby has passed, and I want to be careful because that is a procedure that needs to happen because
well then
because the baby has
cause
passed.
An infection.
Yeah, it can, if it's not passing on its own. But it is if a baby isn't alive, it is an abortion. Okay, so there's all these comments, all these women saying, that happened to me too, my kid's 25, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And so I left this comment. Give me just a second to pull up our Instagram. Yep, it's top.
Yep, it's always easy to find because people are going.
So I left this comment. Anybody else concerned by the amount of people in the comments saying, quote, that happened to me too? We have 10,610 likes on that one comment.
Yep.
So it can be a couple of things. It's either doctors are really freaking stupid, which we know not all doctors are created equal. Because you have a degree. Yeah. I mean, people have degrees in left-handed puppetry. It is so dumb.
Yep.
The things people are getting degrees for and the wages are not matching their degrees.
Right.
Anyways, but it doesn't matter. We don't need to get into that topic, but don't go to college. Anyways, either doctors are dumb and they don't, the way they handle that is wrong.
Yeah.
They should probably wait, hey, maybe prep the mom and say it's not maybe looking good. Let's give it a week. Come back in a week or let's go get a second opinion, whatever. Or they have ill intent.
Yeah.
Because we don't value human life anymore.
I would really like to think that they're just dumb, which is a scary thought when they're involved in keeping everybody healthy. But
when we give our children's lives over to them,
I would love to think they're not purposefully harming babies, but that's thousands of comments and thousands of likes.
Tens of thousands of comments. So okay, then what is it? Then these moms are blindly, we've been trained to blindly trust our doctors. We have been trained oh, my doctor says I have had a miscarriage. I need to go get a DNC. I need to take these pills and not let my body do what it's naturally supposed to do and give it every fighting chance.
Yeah.
But take these synthetic pills.
Yeah.
Either the doctor is stupid and then the mom is inadvertently murdering her child. What's it called? co-murder. What's it called? Accessory.
Yes.
Like they're accessories to murder. Or like, is it intentional? And I would like to think it's not.
Yeah.
But I also know I've seen the way doctors don't value the basic biology of things.
Yeah.
And even though science has proven babies are alive at fertilization, like there's this crazy video, this crazy reel of the scientists that like they were able to do like a microscopic recording of a egg fertilizing, like a sperm fertilizing an egg. And it like, they couldn't explain it. But there's a burst. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
There's like
so
that
cool.
burst of light that happens that they cannot explain. I get goosebumps. Like,
I know.
Because you know what? It is a human life.
Yeah.
And we don't value that anymore. And I don't know. I'm just like, I'm pissed off.
Yeah.
Because how many moms who are like probably longed for a baby.
Yeah.
And they're saying, you miscarried.
Yeah.
Take these pills.
Yeah.
And then they finally trust and they do it and their baby could have been just fine.
Yeah. I am in this girls group thing on Facebook that started from a bunch of girls I went to college with, which is another story for another day that we'll get into when Leah finishes the documentary.
Oh, man.
But this group
That's a good one.
it's kind of a group of like millennial age women who are trying to like break family cycles.
Yeah.
And so it's, you know, if with anything full of women, there's been drama here and there. But I have seen a lot of posts of like, hey, just went to an appointment. Doctor said there's no heartbeat or no growth for 6 weeks. I opted to let the baby pass naturally, just without taking the pills. Like, how long has anyone done that? How long did you wait? And it was interesting on the comments of some of the comments of that were like, yeah, I waited a few weeks and got tested again. She said, but about a week after that appointment, I just didn't feel pregnant anymore, which I'm glad that she commented that, because we're given an intuition and a motherly intuition, a woman's intuition for a reason if you feel that. But even then, even after she said she felt not pregnant anymore, she still waited a little bit longer. And then at that point, she went in for another scan and there was no growth. Yeah. At that point, she did the DNC because it was safer for her and the like future children to not have a bunch of things go haywire from infection. But so interesting. If someone's saying, well, I still feel pregnant, it's like, I don't know why they would discount our intuition.
Well, because we live in a society where we trust experts over the person who lives in their own body.
Yep.
And has to deal with it. Like, not has to deal with it, but like has the privilege of knowing it very well. Yeah. And if we over medicate all the time and it shuts off all of our nervous system of like receptors on like how to listen to our body, then of course we just blindly hand it over to doctors because you know better. Like it's just, it's a mess. But I don't know. I don't know the solution. But like, I'd say like wait it out. Yeah. Like unless you're in immediate danger. Yeah. Or even just go get a second opinion that same day. Yeah. From a different organization. Yeah. Like not a fellow or whatever it's called, like a
practitioner,
like an additional doctor within that same
in the
business. Like in the practice, go to a different doctor. I don't know. It just makes me sick. Yeah. Like I don't know. Yeah. Yep.
Even in semi-side tangent, sort of, even in like my career and my field, one of the first things I say to someone brand new in my salon chair is, tell me all about your hair, because I don't have your hair. I don't brush it every day. I don't style it every day. Most of the time they'll go into everything, what they like, what they don't like. Oh, this side always flips up no matter what I do, or this side splits off here. Yeah. Because I'm not going to discredit, because I have met stylists who are like, well, I'm the professional. If I do this, it'll be perfect. You don't have their hair. You don't have, in this case, like you're not in their body. If your intuition and your gut is saying something just because they're the expert, because I would dare to call myself an expert in my field, but I don't have your head of hair. Yeah. Also, Leah's hair is the black hole of my career, but it's fine. No, but like they're not you. They don't feel what you feel. They don't have like your stomach aches or your abdominal, like they don't know what you're feeling. They can only guess from the outside. So don't give them that much authority over you.
You are in charge of you. Your doctor is not in charge of you. I know everyone says, but ask your doctor. It's like, no, ask yourself. Yeah. Like obviously just don't be dumb about certain things, but like nobody cares about you. I don't know how many times I have to say this. Nobody cares about you as much as you care about you. Nobody cares about your kids as much as you care about your kids. The government doesn't care. The doctors don't care. Even your family doesn't care about your kid as much as you care about your kid. God picked you and your husband to parent those kids. And there's a reason there's like that, you know, overwhelming love and protection that happens. I don't know how many listeners are as conspiratorial as I am, but like, it's not conspiratorial. It's 100% real, but like Agenda 2030 is like, it is a thing. And they're trying to like reduce the population. The World Economic Forum, Bill Gates, our own presidential administration has said like, we need to reduce the population. We already know Big Pharma is
just keep cranking them out.
Yeah. And Big Pharma is actively killing people. And we're all still called conspiracy theorists because people are dropping like flies left and right. You're trying to tell me that those same doctors that are injecting people with something that is definitely killing them is going to value the life in your uterus and can't just be like, oh, no heartbeat.
Yeah.
And just like basically nip it at the butt, like in the butt. Like, are you kidding? I don't know. There just needs to be like accountability. Honestly, if I was that mom, I would sue. I would say, you tried to get me to kill my kid. And where is the accountability? Because doctors are take an oath to do no harm. You come into the ER, you had a heart attack. There's no pulse right now, but like you can work to get it back. Yeah. I'm not saying you can do that in utero. I don't know, but like you try. You say, like, okay, let's wait a week. Like there is no accountability for like, oh, like
checks and balances.
Yeah, there's no adult to say like, you didn't let me grow up. Like, you know.
Yeah.
We need something. I don't know. I just wanted to talk about that because it agitated me. And the fact that we don't, in general, value human life. Because there was a couple comments of like, no, this doesn't bother me at all. What are you talking about? I'm like,
my gosh.
I was like, more props to her. I think she was like a young kid. She was like, I'm not being rude, but can you tell me? I don't get it. Why does it matter? And I was like, well, it all starts when we don't value human life from the beginning. And statistically, actually, Live Action shared that for the people they showed, like what happens actually in an abortion, like showed them the horrible graphic image that makes, like, if it doesn't make you sick to your stomach, like
you should have to see that. If a lot of these like hospitals and birthing centers won't let you give birth there unless you go through their birthing class, you should be mandated, which they're not going to do it because people are going to leave. You should be mandated to watch a video of what's actually happening during your abortion. And look, you should be, which they're never going to, this is off, like they're never going to, but you should be forced to look at this thing when it's out of your body, this little baby, piece by piece, because I don't know how many people know this, but it is someone's job after an abortion to piece together the skeleton of this baby. I'm going to cry. To make sure they didn't leave a piece in there, because it's detrimental to the mom to leave this dead, decaying tissue. Like, how do you live with yourself if your job is to piece together a baby on a table like it's trash? I cannot even handle that.
And I don't say this lightly. It is demonic. Like, how do you live with that?
I don't know.
It's there. Allie Stuckey has a really great episode. It's the worst episode, I should say, but she talks through it. She gets choked up the whole time through it. And she has to, like, she talks about like at every stage what it looks like. And it's just like, and if you don't have the guts to look at it and you're still pro-choice, like pro-abortion, then you're not pro-abortion. Like if you can't look at it, then you're not pro, like you're just head in the sand and just dumb, honestly. You cannot also be Christian and be pro-abortion because for one thing, it's an image bearer of God. Like we are made in his image, and you cannot say just because of convenience or like, oh, it's not a good time or this partner was not good for me. It's like, okay, well, stop having sex with random people. But like that light was made and it is your job to protect it. And like, now there is forgiveness of, if before you knew, before you became a Christian or whatever, but leave us a comment if you know of anybody that's happened to. Oh, this is not flattering on me. I just looked
Probably
at it.
Wasn't flattering on me either.
I'm not hiding anything. We just switched outfits.
You'll never know.
You'll never know. But it's awful. There is no safe abortion. There is no gentle, like there are repercussions, like
scar tissue.
The scar tissue and like the likelihood of you having troubles conceiving later are really high. People like to say like, oh, like you feel nothing, like it's not a big deal. The depression rates for women who have had abortions is high. Like really high. I don't have those numbers right in front of me.
Well, just on a chemical scientific level, when you, I'm probably going to get some of the terms wrong, but basically, if you have a genuine miscarriage, you get pregnant, your hormone levels rise, and then you miscarry, and they slowly decline.
Yeah.
Because the body knows, like, okay, I had a miscarriage.
The body knows what to do.
Let's
the time
go on and figure out this new life. When you have an abortion, these chemicals are still going to keep increasing, and you're yanking it.
Yeah.
And it's the same with not getting that burst, which I know sometimes it's necessary for C-sections. I know that, but you don't get the same burst of hormones as if you push a baby out. Like, that's just scientific. That's not even like spiritual or all those things about God. That is like, it's science and chemistry.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
you're gonna have a swing because your hormones are not doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Not to mention the abortion. Okay. Dad told me a story that haunts me to this day. That he said they were driving back from, I think Oklahoma once, and he was like 3 a.m. or whatever. Mm-hmm. And he said he was driving, and out of a truck, a little arm landed on the dashboard or on the windshield.
Yeah.
And it was like in the windshield wipers. And he was like, he knew exactly what it was. It was an aborted baby arm. Mm-hmm. Like, and so I challenge you, go to Live Action's page for a little while. Scroll through. It's horrible. Like, if you can scroll through all that and feel nothing, just like jump off a bridge. Like, I don't care. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Like, if you don't feel anything for a human being, like that's a heart issue. Yeah. I don't know what the resolve is.
Yeah. I don't either.
I think it's ill intent. Not every single doctor, obviously. Because it's just like, not all waitresses are good. Not all waitresses are bad. Not all hairstylists are good. Not all hairstylists are bad.
Yep.
But at some point we have to look at what are we being force fed, and also the correlation between like, okay, are miscarriage rates actually going up, or are we causing something to happen? I don't know. My brain doesn't trust anything anymore.
Mine doesn't either. You
are made in God's image, and your kids are too, even as much as, accidents happen. Every child has value, and there is you wouldn't look at an adult and say like, you're inconvenient, so I'm going to make you go away. Like, that's just not how most people's brains operate.
Yeah.
So we need to speak up for the small, voiceless.
Yeah.
And just be loud about it. I've lost a lot of followers I know what I wanted to say, and it's not in here. Birth workers. There's like a trend in the birth worker world where like they're pro-abortion and they work in like home birth, or they take photos in home birth. They're home birth midwives. Like,
why is that a trend?
It's not a trend. I am seeing
Okay.
I got like I take birth video and photography, like on the side. And so like when you get kind of like in there, like you start to know like other photographers, other videographers, other midwives and doulas and all the things. And I am like disgusted by the amount of women who are pro-abortion. It's always wrong no matter what stage, but even up until like 40 weeks.
It makes me literally sick.
And so there's a podcaster. I don't think maybe I told you about this. I'm not going to say who it is, but she just had a baby and it was a VBAC, and she posted about this podcast that I'm not going to mention. Actually, yeah, I'll just say it. It's Down to Birth podcast. They were a great podcast and a great resource for me when I was pregnant, and I loved it until Roe v. Wade was overturned. And they were like, this is not okay. Like women's rights, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. You're a home birth midwife, a lactation consultant, and a hypnobirthing educator, and and you call yourself a female advocate. And you're telling me that like you support women even if they decide to kill their baby up until term. And they're like, well, we feel like, this is the response. I'll post it someday maybe, but like they sent like basically just like how we don't make decisions on what we don't judge women for what decision they make in labor or what they feed their kids every day. We don't decide what they do with their bodies. I'm like, that is different. That is murder versus giving a kid an Oreo for breakfast. Like, or deciding to get a C-section versus like going vaginal. Those are different.
Yeah.
than literally taking, like cutting your kid's arms off one by one,
Yep.
injecting their heart with a lethal injection to where it makes them have a heart attack in the utero.
Yeah.
That's fucking different.
Yeah.
It's different than an Oreo.
Yep.
And you're telling me you work in the birth world and you have the most popular birth podcast.
Yeah.
And was a great resource. I feel duped that I like listened to them. So anyways, this podcaster was going to go on her show and she posted, she's like, this is a great resource. I was like, hey, FYI, they've deleted it since, but they were pissed when Roe v. Wade was overturned. She was like, what? And so now she's like, well, now I have to tell them I'm not going to go on on their podcast because I don't support that. And I was like, great. And we have to like at some point cut it off and be like, no, I'm not supporting you. I'm not listening to your podcast. I'm not buying your anything. We have to cut it off and say like, no, like human life matters more. And I'm going to hit it where it hurts. And I'm not going to give you my money or my views or my listens. So anyways, it just pisses me off.
Yeah. You can't value bringing a life into this world if you're also fine taking a life away.
Yeah. Cause like
the two don't go together.
Well, and there was a bill that was passed of like, oh, the Born Alive bill. Did you know about that?
Bits and pieces, but
if a baby, like, I can't remember what state it was, but if a baby was like, you know, in an abortion, if a baby was born alive, but they had to try to resuscitate it and they had to try to help it.
Yep.
It didn't pass.
Yep.
So they can just
take a baby that has breath
and just inject it again or hit it over the head, whatever, and throw it in a dumpster.
Yep.
What the hell?
Yeah.
There's now very few things that make me as mad as that. And like, I hate that once upon a time, I was just so uneducated and so dumb that I thought like, oh, like I wouldn't do it, but if she wants to do it, that's fine. That is so ignorant. I wouldn't be okay with you punching your kid in the face today.
Yeah.
Why would I be okay with you killing your child like in utero? Yep. You can't be both. At some point you have to just educate yourself and freaking educate everybody else, because the people who look at what actually an abortion is, they change their mind 100% of the time.
Yeah.
So if you are pro-abortion, you just haven't looked at it.
Yeah. Look the baby in the eye.
Yeah.
Not look at the paperwork.
Yeah.
Look the babies in the eyes piece by piece and say that it's not a real human.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. I'm sweaty.
In my
in your poncho.
I almost said romper. It's not a romper.
Poncho. I don't know what to do for the cause. I actually almost worked for Live Action once upon a time. But like, honestly, like the guy asked me, he was like, would you be like, it's going to be graphic to look at. And I thought, oh, I'll be fine. Then I went and scrolled through their Instagram and I was like, I actually am not going to be fine because I just had a baby.
Yeah.
And like, I know this is important and you guys are doing such good work. So I'll buy your merch. I'll share the things you share. Yeah. But like, I can't look at this every day. Like that is a hard thing to carry. So let's pray for them too, because they have to carry that whole team. Yeah. But that irked me, and then it baffled me that there was over 10,000 likes now that are like, yeah, this bothers me.
Yeah.
And at some point, we the people have to be like, that's enough. Like, we don't have to. Honestly, like we're gonna end up in like a separate civilization where it's like the people who choose not to participate in the insurance, medicalized Western medicine, and then there's the people who like still believe in doctors, but they have a time and place.
Yes.
Like, you break my arm, okay, I'm not gonna go to the traditional one because I'm afraid they're gonna inject me when I'm not looking. Yeah. Like, there was a doctor who was caught giving the COVID vaccine to people in surgery when they were sedated. But where is that on the news? Yeah. It's like, oh, you knew that they weren't vaccinated, so you vaccinated them while they're sleeping.
Yep.
So like, at some point we have to be like, you don't get our money. And like, the hospitals get paid. They like, abortionists, they can sell the aborted fetal tissues to put in cosmetics. Yep. So your Maybelline, your I don't ever buy their makeup. L'Oreal, Like all of those makeup lines have aborted fetal cells in them because they make you look young, because they have the human growth hormone. And like we have to opt out.
Yeah.
You can't buy those brands. I'm sorry. Like you have to do hard things because like lives are at stake.
Yeah.
And there are stupid celebrities who are like, yeah, like we use like aborted fetal cell, like they do like derma rolling, and they put aborted fetal cells on their face in a cream where it's nice and it's just okay.
Yeah.
There is no resolution. Like it's dark out there. It's dark, but we have to be the light and share like the truth about and save lives. Like there's been like, I guess here's the resolve. I think there's been 39,000 lives saved since Roe v. Wade was overturned.
Wow.
If that's the right number. I think it was 39 or 37. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And then there's I'll put it in the description, but there's a company that sponsors other podcasts that I listen to, that they provide free sonograms to women who are considering abortion. Okay. And if you see if a woman sees a sonogram, there's an 80% chance that she won't abort the baby.
Yeah.
So they provide free sonograms. So like if you donate to them, whatever you can, $1, $5, $28, whatever.
Yeah.
Like you can help in that sense, or just share their content so that people know about it. And so that, because that is something that they don't offer at abortion clinics. They don't offer sonograms because they don't want you to know it's alive. They don't want you to see it wiggling.
Or hear its little heartbeat.
No, they don't want it. So,
I guess the solution, not resolution, but would be to be a voice out there for the little younger girls who just don't know. They've only been told like, oh, it's just a choice. It's just your body. Like you're your body.
It's not your body.
But if they're being told that by their parents there, which again,
everyone they grew up
tricky
around.
line, because I don't want people telling my kids, well, your mom says this, but that's not true. But
there
eventually they're going to grow up and have to make their own decisions. And there needs to be voices out there for those young girls saying, hey, that's not the only way that it is.
Yeah.
Yes, you've heard that, but eventually you're going to need to grow up and make your own decisions. Here's another opinion. Here's your second opinion.
I guess another reel, not to always talk about Instagram, but there's that other reel of the guy, he's a famous podcaster now, I'm blanking on his name, where he has a pro-abortion guy on there, and he was like, okay, so you're pro-abortion up until 40 weeks. And he was like, yeah, it's fine. He's like, it's her body, it's her choice. He's like, okay, so are you okay with pregnant women doing meth? And he's like, well, no, it will affect the baby.
Either the baby matters or the baby doesn't.
Either the baby is a part of the woman's body or it's not. It's not a part of the woman's body. It's a separate body. It has a separate heartbeat. It has its own unique DNA cells. It is different. It has its own brain wavelengths. Like it is connected to the mom as a life source for protection, for an incubation time, which is a beautiful thing. Like as challenging as it is, like it is a great, to me, like birth or pregnancy, birth, and delivery was all very edifying of like, oh, it was like life-changing in the most beautiful way. Yeah. And they're trying to trick you into thinking that it's this huge burden. And is it hard work? For sure. But everything in life is hard work. Yep. This one just actually means something. Yeah. Anyways. Yeah. Okay. I'm dead inside. Yeah. So I think every time we share something on pro-life, like on our Under the Sun Instagram, we drop a bunch of followers, which I'm happy to do.
We'll find our people.
But
we're also unapologetically not gonna.
That's what I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna waver on. Like I'm not gonna be like, oh no, I don't want to lose people. Like sometimes my conspiracy stuff, not conspiracy. It's all true, but like some people just aren't ready to hear it. Sometimes I'm like, I probably shouldn't share this on Under the Sun, but I'll go share it on my personal, and then that's where I'll drop 5,000 followers. But anyways, go follow Live Action. How about that? They are doing a lot, and Lila Rose. So, bye.
I don't know how to end this one.
Yeah, we're thankful for you guys. Yeah, and that we're finding our community. And here's my resolution: challenge someone in your life that you know is. Because like nobody ever challenges people anymore. The conservative movement or like the pro-life movement is so offended, like doesn't want to offend anybody, doesn't want to ruffle feathers, doesn't want to have the hard conversation or be challenged. You don't have to know everything about abortion just to know it's like to challenge someone. If you can plant a seed of doubt that like it's wrong, Do that. Okay. Send us messages about how that goes. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye. Thanks for being with us today. Follow us on Instagram at underthesun_podcast. We'd love to meet you.
Please help us out by subscribing on YouTube and leaving a review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. We'll see you next time. Please remember this information is made available to you for informational and educational purposes only. It is in no way a substitute for medical advice.